Throughout the centuries, the Virgin Mary has been represented in Christian art with different facial features, skin colors, and nationalities. Despite the different appearance, all these images represent one historical person, Mary of Nazareth, the mother of Jesus Christ. In representing her, Christian art has been inspired by the first images found in the Roman catacombs and ancient icons attributed by tradition to St. Luke the Evangelist. St. Luke's icons are called Acheiropoieta, for the divine intervention to leave a pictorial documentation of Our Lady in the form of an icon. But there's a second type of Acheiropoieta, the image that miraculously appeared on the tilma of St. Juan Diego in Mexico, known as Our Lady of Guadalupe, is also called Acheiropoieta. Comparing the two Acheiropoieta images, it's seen that Our Lady not only has different facial features, but she's also of a different race. Which of these images, then, displays the true face of Our Lady? According to art historian Elizabeth Lev, these two images don't contradict each other.
That is actually a very a beautiful continuation. No, if we have these first Acheiropoieta that arrive in the Mediterranean basin, and the images that go to Constantinople, and the centers that are going to be the traditional centers of Christianity, the early Christian church, but to have one stake a claim in the New World so early on is really, I think, just a beautiful statement about evangelization, about Mary who appears, who changes her appearance, Mary who searches all over the world to create this church, Mary who is the church, always bringing her face, bringing her image to new worlds, as it were.
The Virgin Mary is not only a historical person, but she has a special place in the divine design of human salvation. Mariologist Father Salvatore Perella explains Our Lady's unique role in God's communication.
Ma cosa servono le apparizioni?
But what are apparitions for? Apparitions serve to remind us of God as presence, God as providence, God as the guide of humanity. God, however, often allows himself to be grasped by man through the best believer, who is Mary, who is, let us say, the ambassador of heaven. Apparitions are never similar. They are always different eras, different situations, different contexts. Think of the first modern apparition in 1531, the Mary of Guadalupe presenting herself to Juan Diego, the guise of an Indian to an Indian. What does this mean? That heaven takes cultures into account and respects cultures.
Che il cielo tiene conto delle culture e rispetta le culture.
Christian art follows divine revelation and reveals Our Lady's specific role in the Church, designed by God.
Mary has been equated with the concept of the church, the ecclesia, from the beginning of Christianity. And the church is Catholic or universal. And so that Mary would be an image that reflects the universality of the church. If Mary is out presenting her son, pointing towards her son in Asia, then she will look like the church in Asia. When she's presenting her son to the peoples of Africa, she becomes part of that world so that she can draw all of us to the one true Christ. And it's a really beautiful thing about the multifaceted, multi-faces of Mary throughout the history of art.
Father Salvatore Perella points out another aspect that influences the representation of the heavenly reality by those who've experienced Marian apparitions, and then explain the appearance of Our Lady.
L'apparizione è
Apparition is seeing and being seen by a personal, otherworldly reality, and you see it as I see you. It is clear that it always centers the psychological dimension. For example, when Mary appears in the form of the message itself. But Mary, we know, is in the other world and is a resurrected body. So Mary could not be sad, could not cry, because she is in joy. If she appears as the sorrowful one, if she appears as the weeping one, it means that she enters into the personal dynamism of the individual to communicate to him a message of conversion, to communicate to him a message of return of God.
Ritorno a Dio.
Because she is a figure who grows along with the church. She is part of this living thing that is the church, and not just this figure that just, say hi to her when you come in the room. I think it's very clear that Mary's role was meant to be one of constant intercession, and as the world grew, intercessors for all those people. People talk about the most photographed actresses, or the Princess of Wales, the most photographed woman, but really the most represented woman in all of history is Mary. And she's been represented in so many different ways because of that extraordinary universality of the church, which is personified in the person of Jesus' mother, the Blessed Virgin.
The true face of Our Lady is the Catholic Church itself, Catholic meaning universal and dear to every person and culture. Mary, Mother of God, Mother of the Church, New Eve, and Mother of all redeemed humanity.